If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. The world is going to end, folks. That's the fear-mongering propaganda that Hollywood continues to produce. And we hear about this all the time in our news, our fake news that we tune into on the television set, pushing fear through global warming. The global warming hoax, which is nothing more than a depopulation agenda, is one of the biggest scams of our lifetime. We see celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio who get rolled into the United Nations to give speeches about climate change and how if we don't do something about climate change, if we don't start taxing people for air, that the world's going to end and all this stuff is going to happen. It's going to be earthquakes and tsunamis. And what are we going to do? They push Bill Nye out there, all these talking heads on television. And they say if you're a climate change denier, if you're somebody who doesn't believe in global warming, even Bill Nye says we should be put in prison for not believing in their lies, their fake science that they push with global warming. This is all about geoengineering, folks. And now Hollywood has another film coming out. I'm sure you've seen The Day After Tomorrow or heard of it. It's all the same stuff, right? It's all part of programming and desensitizing the masses. That's why they have 5 million alien movies a year. That's why they have 5 million movies about demonic possession. They're showing you in plain sight what they're doing. And now we have this movie called Geostorm, which is about global warming induced end of the world disasters all happening at once. It's absolutely laughable if you watch the show, but they're going to push fear and panic because they know a lot of people aren't on board with global warming. A lot of people see through it and see through the hoax and the scam that it is. So now what you're going to see is them roll out more and more movies, okay, showing you the dangers of global warming, such as Geostorm, so they can create fear and panic, and people can go and see it and say, we got to do something about global warming. There's going to be like tornadoes and blizzards all at the same place at the same time. Oh my goodness, the world's going to end. People are going to be at the beach and the waves are just going to run them over. It is all fear. That is what this is about. This is about pushing their agenda on the masses and using these movies to brainwash people into believing that stuff like this is real. And like I said, they think that people aren't buying enough into global warming because they've rolled out celebrities to push it and speak about it, and still people are hesitant to believe it. So they know they have to up the ante here. They have to make these bogus films. This will just be one of many films that pushes this fear of global warming. I'll read a little bit about the film to you. It says, if Hollywood wanted to terrify moviegoers about what global warming-induced apocalypse would look like, it may have succeeded with Geostorm. So right off the bat, you can just see what they're trying to say. If they want to terrify moviegoers about global warming-induced apocalypse and what it might look like, that's what this movie is. So this is nothing more than fear tactic used by Hollywood to usher in one of their agendas. It says the latest end-of-the-world disaster film, which is set to open in October, is produced by Warner Brothers. Its director, Dean Devlin, was also the writer and producer of Independence Day. So there's another propaganda piece. So we've seen Independence Day as they push this fake alien invasion, as they constantly brainwash people. There's people out there that literally, you know how many people out there believe that aliens are real? Now, demons are real and demonic possession are real, but actually believe aliens fly around on flying saucers above us, even though no one's ever seen one or one hasn't been caught. They push this stuff, but when people like me talk about these pedo rings and Pizzagate and all that stuff, we're crazy. We're making this stuff up. Yet they claim that alien invasions and all this crap is real without ever having any proof of it, and people out there believe it. Through, brainwashing, through seeing these movies, people think, oh, I saw one. I saw a UFO. Yeah, what you saw was a government military UFO. If you saw anything flying in the sky, that's what you saw. Okay? Because our government creates these things and does these things to play with people. They have all sorts of plans involving a fake alien invasion. It's Project Bluebeam. Look into it if you don't know about it. It says the satellites suffer a malfunction in the movie that cause them to destroy the Arctic, setting off a chain of events that includes the wiping out of cities, buildings collapsing like dominoes, tornadoes that destroy markets, dead birds, and frozen airplanes dropping out of the sky, and tsunami waves that flood coastal towns. The trailer is set against a creepy-sounding cover version of Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World. I mean, this is just, if people out there want to look into what they're really doing with, we have Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, we have all of these agendas that they have, all these CIA operations that they have. We have HARP, where people don't even question the fact that our government can manipulate the weather and create catastrophic events through using HARP, even potentially through using the Hadron Collider over at CERN. Those are things that people need to look into, but they deem it military operation. Oh, it's top secret information, HARP. You can't look into it. They can't manipulate the weather, they say. Oh, they can't? It's been documented by our government that is the purpose that it serves, is to manipulate the weather and to even use it in warfare, weather warfare. You can look into the documentation on it. It's unbelievable what they get away with. All of this stuff is documented and it's out there, yet people still don't believe it. So they're going to use movies like this to create more and more fear in regards to global warming, because they haven't got the message across that they want to get across, because a lot of people speak out against it. A lot of people say, it's not real. They're making it up. And that's why you see Leonardo DiCaprio speaking at the United Nations. The guy's an actor. Apparently he's a scientist. I mean, it's all mumbo jumbo lies. That's what it is. It's pseudoscience that they use to brainwash people into believing this nonsense. Yet they control the weather by using HARP. They can create these things. They can create and manipulate the weather. Yet they dump chemtrails and all this other stuff on us and block the sun's rays from hitting us. And these are things that nobody seems to care about and never get discussed. Maybe they should make a film about chemtrails and then show the after effects of what it does to people. Maybe it could star Leonardo DiCaprio himself, and they could show how people get sick, what it does to them, the cause and effect from these chemtrails, as well as the vitamin D deficiency that is caused through chemtrailing our skies and blocking us from getting actual sunlight. I mean, it's an absolute joke. You look up, you don't even see real clouds anymore. So in the trailer, you see cities just getting toppled over around the world via tsunamis coming through. We see what appears to be, just many tornadoes coming in at the same time. Fire, chaos, tornadoes, blizzards, airplanes falling out of the sky. I mean, it's all fear, because they're going to use this. I'll tell you right now, they're going to use this. And they're going to say, look, this is, potentially what could happen if we don't address global warming. So even though it's a fictional movie, they're going to convince people that this is what is going to happen in our world if something isn't done immediately about global warming. And again, this is all about depopulation. That is what the global warming agenda is about. It is about depopulation. And even in the film, they have a scientist played by actor Gerard Butler, who plays a scientist that needs to fix sophisticated satellites that control the Earth's weather. So these satellites that control the Earth's weather. Okay? Even telling you in plain sight, that is what is being done. HARP can manipulate and control the weather. All you have to do is a little bit of research on HARP and what it's really there for, because it's not there for what they claim. Okay, the CIA uses weather. They weaponize weather. And as insane as it sounds, it is true. People are not aware of the CIA and how deep the corruption runs. I've been talking about the CIA a lot recently this week. And we've all heard about the leaks with them spying on us. This is all common stuff. We all know that they spy on us and do stuff like this. Now it's time for people to look deeper, look into things like the Finders cult, which I talked about, which is really controlled and operated by the CIA, which was a child kidnapping ring, using these kids for satanic ritual abuse. You can look into the CIA's Project Bluebeam. You can look at this MK Ultra. You can look at how they weaponize weather and HARP. It's unbelievable how deep it runs. The CIA is as corrupt and as sick as it gets. Okay? And the CIA was started after World War II when they rolled in all of these all of these scientists from Germany, and they started practicing all of these abusive tactics on us. Because to them, we were just like guinea pigs. And that's what they still look at us as, an experiment. They test all of this stuff on the masses. And now we have a society that is completely under mind control. Because when you hear MK Ultra, you have to realize it's not just locking you in a room like in Clockwork Orange and opening your eyeballs and forcing you to watch stuff. MK Ultra mind control works through just turning on the television. The sound waves they use, the beats that they use, how they, speak, the newscasters speak and look you in the eyes. This is all part of mind control and how it works. So this film, which is just another dump from Hollywood, a dump in our faces, because that's really all it is, entitled Geostorm, is supposed to be a huge blockbuster film coming out in October, which is going to create more and more fear and panic in regards to the global warming hoax, because that's what it really is. And they're going to convince people that global warming, if it is not taken care of and handled, that it could end or lead to the end of the world or some type of massive catastrophe of natural disasters all occurring at the same time. And again, people with these mind control tactics that they play, like global warming, like martial law, all these things, people are going to be asking for these things and wanting these things and going along with these agendas because they're going to be brainwashed into thinking it's what's best for them. And that's what's most frightening about this mind control. So this is Geostorm, folks. Just more garbage from Hollywood to brainwash the masses into another Illuminati agenda, New World Order agenda that is nothing but lies and propaganda. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.